Hey guys, welcome back. So this video is going to be a continuation of the last video. Now I'm going to talk about how to convert XML to objects. So this is what we need. First of all, we need to know about the JAXB context. I've talked about this before in my last video. And what this is used for is basically used to manage XML and Java binding. So it's used to build a relationship between XML and Java. And another thing that we need is this thing called an unmarshaller. Now, this unmarshaller is actually used to convert XML files or strings to objects. And the last thing that we need to know is, the last thing that we need is a good understanding of XML and how it relates to objects. All right, so this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be taking this XML and converting it to an object so that when we create an object, we're able to call whatever information that we need from this XML. So as you can see, this XML is broken up into different parts, and this object is going to allow us to quickly retrieve whatever part of the XML that we need. So just like before, we're going to be constructing an object that resembles the structure of this XML, and then we're going to be using JAXB context as well as the unmarshaller in order to convert that to an object. So let's get right to the code. Alright, so what you see here is an empty project. We have our application object. I also have this questions.xml file right here, which consists of all the XML that we're going to be using and converting to an object. But the first thing that we need to do is to create a structure surrounding this XML that we have right here. So the first thing we need to do is add ourselves a class, go to new, go to class, and type in question. All right, and we just want to make sure that the question resembles this XML that we have here. So compared to my last video, I may be repeating a couple of steps here, but I just wanted to repeat these steps just in case we have any new people here watching this video. So first thing we need to do, go to our questions class, and inside this questions class, we're going to have three data members. We have the ID, we also have an array list of answers, and the reason that this is an array is because we have two of the same elements within this root element, so we're going to consider this an array, and that's pretty much what it is, an array. And then down here we have a question name, which we're going to label as a string. All right, so the first thing we need to do is add this ID, which is going to be an attribute of question. So we want to go private int ID, and then for the next one, private, for the next data member, private array list, and then we're going to have an array list of answer. And answers. All right, and now we just want to create our answer class. And we're going to be constructing that a little bit later. I'll get back to that. Now, another thing that we have is this question name at the bottom that you see there. So we're going to go private string question name. And then after this, we just want to add two constructors, an empty constructor, and then another constructor with some parameters that we're going to be passing into it. So we want to go public question. We actually want to create ourselves another constructor down here, and this is the constructor where we're going to be passing in our parameters: int ID, array list, answers, and then string question name. All right. So what we're going to be doing now is just associating each one of the data members that we have here with parameters that are passed in. So this.id equals ID, this.answers equals answers, and then this.question name equals question name. All right. Now that we're done with that, we just want to add our getter and setter methods for each one of these data members. So we want to right click here and go to source, generate getters and setters, select all, go to OK. All right, and that's pretty much it. So we have our getters and setter methods. We've associated them with each one of the data members that we have up here, and we also have created our two constructors. The next thing we want to do is to actually go to the top and annotate this class with XML root element. And then down here, we just want to annotate the getter, each one of the getter methods. Well, for this particular getter method, we're going to annotate this with attribute. And the reason this is an attribute is because up here in questions, we have an ID attribute, but actually inside questions, we have our elements here. So we're going to start with these annotations now. So at XML attribute for the ID, and then for the other data members, we're going to annotate this with XML element. We're also going to annotate this get question name with XML element. All right, so we're pretty much done with this class. Now we want to go to our answer class. And in this answer class, we want to start once again adding our data members. All right, so we want to go to our answer class, and we're going to first start off with the ID. Actually, we're going to go private int ID, private string answer name, and then private string posted by. We then once again want to add our two constructors, public answer, and then add ourselves another constructor. Then we're going to do the same thing, add our parameters to this constructor, which is going to go int ID, string answer name, and then string posted by. Then we're just going to associate these data members with the parameters once again. This dot ID equals ID, this dot answer name equals answer name, and then this dot posted by equals posted by. All right. So after this, we just want to add our getters and setter methods once again. Source, getters and setters, select all, go to OK. And we're pretty much done with this class. So we've created our question class as well as our answer class here. Answer class consists of the data members that are inside this, that are inside each one of these answer elements that we have. We're pretty much done with the overall structure of the XML. Now we actually want to move back to our application object class. Now, in order to convert XML to objects, this is what we're going to need to do. We first of all have to go into our main method, and we want to create a file object equals new file, and then we just want to import this file.io. And then we just want to pass in the name of the file that we have down here, this question.xml. All right. So after we do that, we want to use our JAXB context. Context. And we want to set this equal to JAXB context dot new instance. Then from here, we just want to pass in question class. Then we want to surround this with try catch. That's that JAXB exception. All right, so after we do that, we want to use the unmarshaller. And as I said before in my PowerPoint presentation, this unmarshaller is used to convert XML files or strings to objects. So let's use that. Unmarshaller, JAXB unmarshaller equals JAXB context dot, well, let's see, JAXB, no, so we're going to go unmarshaller equals JAXB context dot create unmarshaller. And then actually down here, we want to create ourselves an instance of question now. Question equals, and then we want to cast this as a question. We want to go JAXB unmarshaller dot unmarshal the file. All right, so as you can see here, this question now holds all the information within this file. So as I said, when it comes down, to the marshaller, converts that XML to an object. So the XML is converting that to question object. All right, so from here, we just want to do sys out and then question. And we actually want to go back to our question.xml, and let's just try to look at something that we would want to grab. Okay, let's say we want to grab something from this first element right here. We want to grab we want to grab this posted by. We want to grab that information. So this is the answer element. We have an answer name, ID, as well as a posted by. But let's just say we want to grab the first element and we want to get the person who posted this answer. All right, so let's do that. We're going to go question dot get answers dot get at position 0 dot get posted by. So we should get Ravi back once we run this application. So let's run it. So we get Ravi back. And let's just say we go back, we want to grab something else. Let's say we want to go to the second element and grab the answer name. So go to the second element, so that'll be 1, and then get answer name, and the answer name that we should get back, Java is a platform. Press save. We then run this. Java is a platform, exactly what we were expecting. All right, so there is actually another thing that I want to show you guys. So I've showed you how to take in a file and parse through that, but let's just say you wanted to read through a string. All right, so let's see how you'll go about doing that. So the first thing that I want to do is actually comment this out. 1 minute. We want to go to the next line, do the same thing, and we're gonna use this. We're gonna go into unmarshal right here and type in new string reader, and then from here we can actually add the XML, the actual XML string here. So let's see how I can go about doing this. Now, let's see. Okay. All right. All right. So we're going to do this. We're going to take all this XML and then put it in a string. and then we have to do a lot of escaping of the string. All right, so I'm just gonna copy and paste this here. All right, so this looks okay. As you can see here, we just need to escape these quotes. All right, let's make our way through each one of these. All right, we're almost done here. All right, I'm just making my way through this code here, guys. Just give me a second. And all right, so make our way up here. All right, so this is pretty much it. I'm just gonna make sure all this stuff is formatted properly. So it looks a little bit cleaner. All right, so we're taking this entire string that we have in this questions.xml file, and we're just going to run this application again. So as you've seen before, I've used a file. We read from a file, but now we're actually going to read from a string. So just imagine if your application was running and you were passed in a string of XML and you had to go through and grab particular information from that XML. All right, so this is how you'll do it. Let me just run this application and we should get the same thing, exactly what we're expecting. All right, so this actually brings us to the end of the video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video if you've learned something from here. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next one.